Mina olen Mari-Liis Sults, Tallinna kunstigümnaasiumi direktor ja mul on suur rõõm teid siin nii palju näha. Me hakkame täna rääkima siis Demokraatliku kooli põhimõtetel töötavast kooliosa loomisest Tallinna kunstigümnaasiumi juurde. Ja me soovime seda teha siis juba selle aasta septembris. Täna on olnud väga huvitav päev, et demokraatlik kool, demokraatlik haridus tekitab väga palju erinevaid mõtteid inimestes. Ja paraku siis need inimesed, kes sellega ei ole tutvunud või ei ole selle kohta midagi lugenud, siis võivad nii-öelda väljendada oma viha või kurbust või arusaamatust siis. Nii et siis proovime meie siis need hirmud maha võtta ja rääkida siis, mis see täpsemalt on. Meil toimub samal ajal otseülekanne YouTube'i kaudu, nii et tervitan kõiki otseülekande jälgijaid, ma tean vähemalt 10, kes seda teevad. Ja sellepärast siis, kallid külalised, kui te tahate küsida midagi, siis palun küsige mikrofoni ja me anname teile mikrofoni, et siis kuulevad ka otseülekande jälgijad, mida te tahate küsida. Nii, aga mina siis võtan meie ajast ainult väiksed 10 minutit alguses ja soovin siis rääkida kõigepealt sellest, et miks selle demokraatliku kooli suuna oleme nõus looma Tallinna kunstigümnaasiumi juurde, mis on ju tegelikult munitsipaalkool. Ja kui tegemist on munitsipaalkooliga, siis tähendab see seda, et see ei ole erakool ja see tähendab seda, et munitsipaalharidus on Eesti riigis tasuta. Ehk siis lähekski nüüd oma slaidide juurde ja ma võtaks selle. Charlie, aitäh. Ma võtaks selle. Ja prooviks siis teile ehitada sellise väikse silla, et miks siis kunstigümnaasium võiks olla see koht, kus demokraatlik haridus hästi sobib. Ei tööta. Töötab. Mina olen koolijuht siis 4. aastat siin koolis ja algusest peale ei ole ma tulnud siia lihtsalt kooli juhtima, vaid mul on olnud väga selge eesmärk muuta õpilaste ja õpetajate nii-öelda töö siis rõõmsamaks. Ja ma arvan, et selle rõõmu tagab siis nii-öelda 2 vaala. Ja üks vaal on siis huvi. Ehk siis kui õpilane ei saa õppida oma huvist lähtuvalt ja kui õpetaja ei saa õpetada oma huvist lähtuvalt, siis on väga keeruline tööl ja koolis rõõmus olla. Ja teine vaal, siis, mis mul on siis nii-öelda päevakava disain, ehk siis ma olen veendunud, et ei ole võimalik kellast kellani tunniplaani järgi teha nüüd ja kohe seda. Nüüd on 45 minutit matemaatika jaoks, nüüd on 45 minutit kunsti jaoks ja just võib-olla mul on just täna tunne, et mul on jumala hea muusika lainel olen ja tahaks muusikaga tegeleda, aga ma pean mööda tunniplaani minema ja tegelema sellega, mis mul on ette antud. Ehk siis sellest tulenevalt on meie koolil siis sellised väärtused ja ka meie missioon on siis väga lühikene, et siis me soovime vastavalt siis õpilase arengule ja huvidele tagada siis tema nii-öelda hea hariduse ja visioon on meil siis samasugune, et lühike ja selge, et õpilane teab, mida ta tahab ja ta oskab aru saada, kas ta on saanud selle, mida ta tahab. Mida me siis oleme selle 3 aasta jooksul teinud? Nii, läks liiga kiiresti. On see, et me oleme siis sihiks seadnud ennast juhtiva õpilaseni jõudmise. Ennast juhtiv õpilane on siis see, kes saab valida seda, mida ta õpib, valida, kuidas ta õpib ja valida, millal ta õpib. No, nagu te ise mõtlete oma koolikogemuse peal tagasi, siis see on päris keeruline teostada, kui on ees tunniplaan, kui on ees õpetajad, kui kõik on ära korraldatud. Ja no, me oleme siis läinud väikeste sammudega, sest me oleme ikkagist munitsipaalkool. Aga kõikides nendes siis 4 erinevas tegevus, mida me teeme, me kaasame 100% oma kooli õpilasi. Meil on koolis 6 väikeklassi, kus on siis aktiivsus- ja tähelepanuhäire või autismispektri häirega lapsed. Meil on koolis 3 õpilast, kes õpivad täitsa üksinda. Ja meil on ka koolis 7 erinevast rahvusest ja kultuurist nii-öelda inimest. Ehk siis me tegelikult oleme väga mitmekesine kool ja me juba kaasame erinevate tegevuste kaudu, sest need õpilased on seal segamini. Ja üks siis viis, kuidas me kaasame, on see, et meil on 3 korda aastas projektipäevad, kui tunniplaani järgseid tunde ei ole. ja õpilased valivad ise omale projekti, kus nad osalevad. Ja nad valivad selle projekti nagu kooliastme põhiselt, ehk siis, ma näen, et meil on siin üks lapsevanem, et kes siis teab, et näiteks 1.–3. klass valib oma projekti 15 projekti hulgast, edasi teine kooliaasta, ehk siis nad juba valivad ja on läbisegi siis erinevates tegevustes. Kui meil projektipäevade registreerimine algab, siis alati on projektid 1-2 päevaga täis registreeritud, ehk siis õpilastele väga meeldib see, et nad saavad lähtuvalt oma huvist valida endale projekti ja me kunagi ei näita projekti juures õpetajate nimesid. Ehk siis õpilased ei saa valida õpetajat, vaid nad valivad siis projekti. Teine valdkond, milles me siis juba praegu kaasame, on siis huvitunnid, kus siis õpilane saab sellel aastal meil valida 1 tunni oma tunniplaani igal trimestril ise. Ja ta samamoodi valib siis 15 valiku hulgas, mis on väga mitmekesine, jooga, sport, viipekeel, kunst, origami, ehk siis on erinevaid valdkondi, kus siis õpilane valib igas trimestris samal 1 tunni. Need tunnid on juba ära registreeritud tavaliselt 1 päevaga. Ehk siis õpilased ootavad juba hommikul seda linki, mis tuleb, ja nad kohe registreerivad ära, ehk siis see näitab seda, et kui väga nad tegelikult tahavad valida seda, mida nad õpivad. Kolmandaks ma siis räägin sellest, et me oleme oma päevakava väga nii-öelda ümber muutnud selle 3 aastaga. Meil on selline kohustuslik vabatahtlik õuevahetund 40 minutit keset päeva. Meil on 4 erineva pikkusega tunnid, see tähendab seda, et meil koolikella koolis ei ole, osad õpivad poole tunni kaupa, osad 75 minuti kaupa, osad 80 minuti kaupa. Ja kui ma nüüd kokku lugesin, siis sellel aastal kõik päevad, kui meil tegelikult tunniplaani järgseid tunde ei toimu ja kus õpilased saavad ise valida, et neid tuli kokku 22 päeva õppeaastas. Ehk siis, kus õpilased saavad ise valida seda, mida nad õpivad. Ja kõige viimane siis asi, millega me oleme tegelenud, on nüüd siis päriselt see, kuhu ma näitan seda, härrad IT-d. Nii, kus see arvuti on? Sinule või? Nii, ja kolmas siis uuendus võib-olla, millega, või 4. tähendab, millega me oleme väga põhjalikult tegelenud, kus siis päriselt õpilane saab ise ennast juhtida, on siis 3. ja 4. klasside matemaatika õpetamine, kus meil samal ajal õpib siis terve lend õpilasi, näiteks siis 3A, 3B, 3C, ja peale igat kontrolltööd siis õpilane saab valida omale rühma, kus ta järgmise teema raames õpib. Näiteks, kui õpilane oskab väga hästi geomeetrilisi kujundeid, siis ta on geomeetriliste kujundiste hulgas valib omale mingi tugeva rühma. Aga kui õpilane tunneb, et ta tekstiülesandeid üldse ei oska ja vajab õppimist, siis ta valib omale nii-öelda nõrgema rühma. Ehk see õpilane ise otsustab oma nii-öelda taseme, kus ta õpib ja valib endale rühma, kuhu ta läheb. See on üks variant, kuidas valida. Teine variant, kuidas ta võib valida, on see, kuidas ta õppida tahab. Näiteks õpetaja pakub, et on 4 erinevat rühma. Ühes rühmas õpitakse individuaalselt, teises paaris, 3. nii-öelda rühmas ja 4. on üldse digivahendiga õppimine. Ja siis õpilased ise valivad, millise rühma nad selle teema raames siis võtavad, toimub kontrolltöö, jälle uute rühmade valimine. Ehk siis see pisikene osa meie siis õppekavast 1 tund 3. ja 4. klassis oleme me siis suutnud juba viia selle ennast juhtiva õppija nii, et õpilane valib kõike, ta valib mida ta õpib, ta valib kuidas ta õpib, ta ei vali millal ta õpib, sest see tunniplaan on ikka, tund on tunniplaanis, aga vähemalt ta saab nii palju valida kui võimalik. Ja kui siis alguses vanemad kartsid, et issand, et ta iga nädala, 2 nädala pärast võtab oma uue rühma ja siis ta ei tea, kus klassis ta on ja siis on kõik segamini ja siis kõik on mingid uued õpilased ja keegi ei oska midagi ja kõik on vihased ja pahased, siis tegelikult õpilaste õpitulemust ei muutunud, nad pigem jäid samaks või siis paranesid. Et ei ole mingi probleem õpilasel siis nii-öelda vahetada seda seltskonda, kellega ta õpib, kui ta õpib lähtuvalt oma nii-öelda huvist ja soovist. Ja ma lisasin siia ka siis sellise slaidi, et mida meie kohta on öeldud, et selle mõttega, et kuigi nagu tunduvad suht müstilised asjad mõnele inimesele, kes kuuleb, kui palju me oleme ära teinud, et Tallinna linn tegelikult tunnustab seda, ta on nõus sellega, et me teeme haridusuuendusi, oleme saanud sellest auhinna, oleme saanud õpetajate juhtimise eest auhindu, meie enda õpetajad, kõik, kes siis õpetavad teistmoodi, on saanud tunnustust ka Tallinna linnas ja oleme siis saanud ka tunnustust riiklikult ja ehk siis Eestimaa õpib ja tänab raames ja kvaliteedi auhindu samuti erinevates valdkondades. Ja kõige olulisem, ma arvan, on just siis nende riiklike uuringute juures see, et meie koolirõõm on siis vastavalt Innove siis rahulolu uuringutele tõusnud, kiusamine koolis on vähenenud ja liikumisvõimalused kogu aeg suurenevad, sest me ostame mänguväljakuid juurde ja me oleme nii-öelda ka liikuma kutsuv kool. Küll aga on arengukohaks see uuringu järgi, et kui meil õpetajad ja õpilased peavad meid väga innovaatiliseks kooliks, siis samal ajal nad ei suuda, ehk siis õpetajad ei suuda õpilastel tagada autonoomsust. Autonoomsus tähendab seda, et õpilane on siis, saab seda teha, mis ta tahab. Et see on nagu väga kurb, et samal ajal, kui meil on 22 päeva aastas ilma tunniplaanita ja õpilased saavad valida, mida nad teevad, siis ülejäänud aja õpetaja ikkagi arvab, et tema käseb, poob ja laseb. Ehk siis tegelikult see ongi see asi, mida me siis muuta tahame, kuhu jõuda sellega, et avada siis Tallinnasse Demokraatliku kooli osa, et õpilane saab kogu oma aja ise planeerida, mõelda, mida ta teeb, kuidas ta õpib ja mina olen kindel, et õpilased teevad õigeid otsuseid, sest juba nendest lühikestest asjadest, mis meil on olnud, näiteks need projektipäevad, et matemaatikaõpetaja oli väga skeptiline, no mis ma teen, rasked protsentülesanded. Ta tegi selle projekti selle esimesena täis, sest õpilased teadsid, et ta on 9. klassis, tal tuleb riigi eksam, ta peab selle ära tegema, ta valiski selle matemaatika rasked protsentülesanded ja ta oli õnnelik selle projektis ja pärast kaitses seda ja rääkis oma vanematele ja kõik olid rõõmsad ja teine õpilane jälle tahab ehitada putukate hotelli, siis ta ehitabki putukate hotelli ja ta saab ka seal oma teadmised kätte, et kuskilt need teadmised ei lähe kaduma. Et see on suur hirm, mis on nii-öelda õpetajatel ja vanematel, et mina kindlasti usun sellesse ja see demokraatlik nii-öelda haridus annabki selle võimaluse. Ma 2 viimast mulli teile praegu ei räägi, sest meil on veel vahepeal teised kõnelejad ja siis ma räägin teile täpsemalt siis nendest põhjustest, miks me seda Suvemäe kooli ikkagist tahame teha siia kooli ja ka siis nii-öelda hetkeseisu. Ja kui nüüd on praegu küsimusi mulle mikrofoniga, praegu ei ole, nii, kas saame mikrofoni siia? Jah.
Nii.
Sa lüütsid välja võib-olla just. Nüüd on korras, nii. Nüüd ei ole korras.
Et ma tahtsin küsida sellist asja, et kas need projektid, mida siis õpilased valima hakkavad, kas need on ikkagi õpetajate poolt koostatud vastavalt sellele mingile programmile?
Need on koostatud nii, et õpetajad loevad õppekava ja õppekavas on sellised nagu tegusõnad, et omandatud, tunneb, tutvub või on nii-öelda natukene tutvustatud ja siis need projektid on valitud siis nende teemade hulgast, mis siis õpilased peavad olema nagu tutvunud, et nad ei pea neid teemasid teadma. Ja nende teemade kohta siis õpetajad teevadki projektid, et siis need õpilased, keda need teemad huvitavad, nemad siis lähevad sinna projekti ja keda see teema ei huvita, siis nemad sinna ei lähe ja neid teemasid tunnis ei käsitleta ka. Et see teema on nagu projektis läbi võetud. Me oleme küsinud õpilastelt tagasisidet. Kui me alustasime 3 aastat tagasi, siis nad ütlesid, et väga igavad projektid on ja väga nõmedad ja siis me olemegi nende käest saanud nagu infot, mida nad tahavad ja me olemegi teinud neid projekte, mida nad tahavad, aga me põimime sinna sisse ikka siis selle ainealase teadmise vaikselt nii-öelda salaja.
Aitäh!
Veel küsimusi? No, meil aega veel on, aga minu aeg on siin ees läbi, nii et ma kutsuks siia siis nüüd Märt Taro, kes on siis lapsevanema ja ettevõtja rollis, aga ta ise ütleb täpsemalt, kes ta siis on või mis ta teeb.
Tervist kõigile, hästi tore, et siin olete kõik, ma loodan, et teil on väga tore õhtu. Et kas te soovite istuma tulla? Ei soovi veel? Okei. Ühesõnaga natukene paar sõna lihtsalt sellest, et miks mina otsustasin aidata kaasa selle projekti sündimisele või teostumisele. Et mul on lapsevanemana see kogemus, et minu laps on hüperaktiivne. Kui paljudel siin viibijatest on natukene erilised lapsed? Et mõned on. Ühesõnaga, kui teil on laps hüperaktiivne, siis teil kindlasti on nagu teistsugune vaade nagu sellele tavakoolile. Ja te olete põhjalikumalt pidanud uurima seda, et mis ja miks lapsed nagu õpivad ja kuidas nad õpivad. Et ja ma siis olen kõrvalt jälginud seda, et kuidas see laps nagu kõige paremini toimib ja toimib ta niimoodi väga hästi, et ta saab nii-öelda ise valida siis, et mis projektiga me tegeleme, et aktiivõppemeetodid rakendades väga hästi tuleb kaasa. Ehk siis Hüperaktiivsus on nagu laiendatud mõiste on selles mõttes, et see on nagu tähelepanuhäire ka, aga kui nüüd nagu seda last õpetada niimoodi, et nagu talle sobib ja talle meeldib, ehk siis aktiivselt ta saab kaasatud olla sellesse, mismoodi õppimine käib, siis ei ole mitte mingisugust tähelepanu probleemi tegelikult seal. Et vastupidi tekib efekt, kus see laps on nagu nii-öelda hyperfocused, ehk siis ülimalt keskendunud oma õppimisele. Ja pigem nagu ta tuleb ise nõudma seda, et kuule, ma tahaksin nüüd selle ja selle asjaga ka tegeleda. Ehk siis on andnud väga häid tulemusi mulle endal nagu kodus proovides. Ja siis jah, olles suhelnud siin Charlie ja teiste inimestega, siis saigi see teoks tehtud, et aga teeme siis päriselt sellise kooli, kus lapsed saavad õppida nii, nagu neile hea on. Ja nii me siis siia välja jõudsime. Ja teine põhjus on see, et ma olen tööandja. Ja üks asi, mida kahjuks nagu tööandja peab tegema väga palju, on see, et ta peab palkama inimesi. Ja miks ma ütlen kahjuks on see, et kaasaegsesse ettevõttesse ma tahaksin palgata inimesi, kes tulevad säras silmadega, ütlevad, et just seda ma tahangi teha ja oskab mulle põhjendada ka, miks ta tahab seda teha. Ja kahjuks nagu väga sageli me ei näe seda tööandjana, kui me viime töövestlusi läbi. 95% inimestest julgelt ei tea, miks nad tahavad mingit asja teha elus või mida nad üldse elus teha tahavad. Ja mina nagu kahjuks lingin selle ära väga tugevalt meie praeguse haridussüsteemiga, sest et me 12 aastat toime lapsi keskkonnas, kus neil ei ole võimalik iseendast lähtuvalt midagi teha. Ja siis, kui nad lõpetavad selle koori ära, siis me järsku ootame neilt, et aga nüüd nad peavad suutma öelda, mis nad teha tahavad ja miks. On ju. Et selles mõttes minu arvates tundub nagu tuleviku töökohtade peale vaadates väga ebaõiglane, kuidas me täna valmistame inimesi ette tegelikult eluks. Aga eks te saate seda pärast nagu ise rohkem järgi mõelda. Aga ma tahaksin tegelikult ühe lapsevanema veel kutsuda korraks, ja, et kes on ka aidanud kaasasti palju sellele, et meil see projekt edasi liiguks. Et tule räägi, Monika.
Tere, mul on nii hea meel alati, kui kõik, kes räägivad, on minust 2 korda pikemad. Ma ei tea, kuidas. See juhtub minuga väga tihti. Nii, nüüd see on mul näos. Pärast siis pannakse ta jälle normaalsete inimeste kõrgusele tagasi. Nii, minu nimi on Monika Kerme ja mina saingi sellesse projekti tänu sellele, et Märt ükspäev ütles, et midagi peaks teistmoodi tegema. Ja minu laps on aktiivsus tähelepanu häirega 1. klassis saati, tänase päeval on ta 4. klassis. Ja ma leidsin, et nüüd aitab, et ma enam ei taha. Ja tegelikult on see, et ma olen 1. klassist 1. päevast saati andnud talle põhimõtteliselt narkootikume psühhiaatri poolt kirjutatud, sellepärast, et ta saaks olla nendes tundides selles õppekavas. Ja isegi kui psühhiaater ütleb, et ei, see ei tee mitte midagi, see ei jäta mingit sõltuvust, siis nagu kuulge, kes seda usub, et kes ütleb mulle, et 20 aasta pärast on tegemist täiesti normaalse meeste rahvaga ja te ei pea mõtlema selle peale, et teil on 31-aastane narkomanist mees kodus, poeg, keda siis peab kuidagi elule aitama, et mitte keegi ei garanteeri ja keegi ei ütle ka pärast, et me ei saanud midagi teha, näete, läks niimoodi. Ja siis ma leidsin, et see ei ole okei ja ma ei ole nõus sellega enam. Ja siis ma hakkasin vaatama erinevaid koole ja kui ma helistasin kooli direktoritele, siis nad ütlesid, jaa, muidugi, ei, väga tore, jaa. Ma ütlesin, mu laps on ATH. Teate, just see lend, meil on hästi palju lapsi ja juba ongi nagu päris keeruline klass ka, et aga me soovime edu teile. Aha. Sellega läks nüüd hästi, on ju. Siis ma mõtlesin, et ma edaspidi kunagi ei ütlen. Et mis on ka vale, et tegelikult ma eeldan, et mul on koostöö selle inimesega, kes mu last õpetab, aga ei ole koostööd. Ja siis ma avastasingi tegelikult, et kui mu laps rohtusi võtnud, tegelikult ta nüüd hakkas reguleerima ja ta saab tegelikult väga hästi hakkama. Kuigi mingil hetkel on see, et ta tuleb ja ütleb, et kõik on väga halvasti, ta ei ole piisavalt hea, ta ei sobi mitte millekski, ta ei suuda olla, ta ei suuda teha ja kuna ma ise olen ka tegelikult ATH, siis ma näen seda, mis oli minu kooliaeg ja ma hakkan tõmbama neid linke ja ma ei taha, et tema 30. ühel päeval peab aru saama, et ahaa, et tegelikult ma olen hoopis selles väga hea ja ma pean hoopis seda ma tahaks teha oma elus. Et mina täna ütlen, et turundus ja kommunikatsioon on see ala, milles ma tahan olla, aga see, mis ma koolis mäletan, on kõik see, mida ma halvasti tegin, see, kuidas ma ei püsinud paigal, see, kuidas ma ei saanud mingitest asjadest aru, see oli see kõige olulisem asi. Kõik see, milles ma hea olin, see oli täiesti teisejärguline, sellele ei pööratud tähelepanu, see kusagil oli. Ja tänase päeva haridus on täpselt see sama, et lapsel on 5 ja 4, aga mingi 3 on seal vahel. ja ma räägin teiste lastevanematega, ütlevad ka, et meil on arenguvestlus ja õpetaja ütleb, muidu kõik on hästi, aga teate, et probleem on selles, probleem on selles, probleem on selles, siis tuleb sellega tegeleda. Et seda negatiivset, mida lastest see kuidagi pannakse rõhku nii palju sellele, mis on halvasti lapses, aga mitte sellele, mis on hästi. Ja kui me võtame nüüd lapse, kes võib-olla keskendub natukene halvemini, ta on elavam, talle võib-olla meeldivad teistsugused asjad, mul on ääretult andekas laps. Ja ta tahab inglise keelt rääkida, tal on igav seal tunnis, sellepärast, et kõik teised ei räägi niimoodi nagu tema. Aga me paneme ta sinna kuubikusse, sest ta peab just seda ülesannet praegu tegema. Teist ei tohi teha, ei tohi, sest me oleme praegu leheküljel 3. Ei tohi olla leheküljel 5, 3. Ja siis me ühel peal mõtleme nii, aga nüüd see inimene on täiskasvanud inimene ja nüüd ta peab olema loov inimene. Nüüd ta peab 20 aasta pärast olema hoopis teisel turul, kus tegelikult need liinitöö asjad teevad meil juba robotid ära, meil ei ole liinitöö inimesi vaja. Ja nüüd ole loominguline, aga kõik see, mille eest sa enne karistada said, see loomingulisus, no see unusta nüüd ära. See ei käi nii. Ja siis õnneks tuligi Märt ja ütles, et teeme. Ja mina ütlesin, teeme, vaatame. Et tegelikult ju, miks mitte? Jumala eest, miks mitte? Ma küsisin Charlie käest, ütle mulle, mis on kõige hullem asi? Mis juhtub, kui ma lapse panen Suvemäe kooli? Ja pärast mõtlesin, aga ma mitte kunagi ei küsinud, mis on kõige hullem asi, mis mu lapsega juhtub, kui ma panen ta tavakooli. Aitäh teile!
Tere. Te kõik saate aru inglise keelt, jah? Okay, no, I will do it in standing up, it's better. I feel I need to perhaps explain a bit who I am, why I came here. My name is Charlie, I'm Colombian, almost adopted Estonian. I've been living in Estonia for 10 years, I got here in 2005. Originally, well, my school experience wasn't that nice as well. It's really interesting. We are thinking of school in Estonia. Where is the? School in Estonia, school in Germany, school in Colombia. But actually, the system is basically the same. I studied philology. I went through languages and culture. Later on in Estonia, I studied anthropology, also focused on education. And recently I got my PhD degree in education, studying democratic education and education for social justice. How to promote a more inclusive, a more equal world, basically. We have prepared a presentation. I have to say that this team, actually, we are very different, and perhaps that's what makes it move so nicely. They have helped me a lot with this presentation. I would like to share with you, first of all, a bit of what is this thing of democratic education. It sounds like, it sounds weird. Of course, democracy is good, right? But if we ask, everybody wants to live in a democratic country, right? Weirdly enough, it hasn't got to schools. You know, the power of decision, participation, being listened to. But actually it has been during the last 100 years. So, I know, where was it? Yes. This is just a brief slide showing the change in labor, the labor market, how we are at the moment facing the fourth technological revolution. Just if we think that education is, to become prepared to get a job, even if we just consider it narrowly, it's actually very worrying. There are some jobs which are redundant, which are not going to be existing in some years. Lawyers, factory workers. When we go to Selver, in the beginning it shocked me. Just go and say hello to the casa daddy. Almost bites you. Nowadays it's sad, but I prefer to take this piruprix thing. You know what piruprix is? Piruprix. Yeah. And you just go straight. In 10 years, that job will not exist. In my home country, in gas stations, we have people who wait for you. Hello, sir, how you doing? Good. What kind of, how much do you want to fill the tank? Full. Okay, thank you. And you don't have this kind of job here. It does exist, still exist in my home country, but not here, right? It's a job that in the future in my country will not happen, right? You will not see this. And there are some stable roles, like teachers, like human resources, like sales representatives, and some new roles here. Robotics engineers, innovations, automation specialists, and so on. What is the point? The point is that everything is changing. The labor market is changing. However, this setting is not changing. If you want, later on, I can show you briefly where our schooling comes from. And you will be shocked. Because I'm sure that you wouldn't like to have your child study in a system that was developed, for instance, by Stalin or Kim Jong-un. Actually, it came something, along those lines. Our schooling system came from. So basically, what is needed at the moment, what you see in international research, when employers are asked, what do you need from your employees? What is missing? Many people will tell you that the hard skills, the abilities, those could be learned, right? You basically have a person trained in a new machine, in a new program. In 3 months, this person would be ready to work on it, right? But the soft skills are the ones that you cannot develop so easily. These are the ones that make people actually different. Trustworthiness, empathy, feeling empathetic towards another person, self-confidence. I know that I'm worth, I can do that, right? And if I don't know how to do it, I will learn. We are speaking a lot about learning to learn nowadays. Children need to learn how to learn. We, as adults, sometimes are really poor examples. We don't learn, we don't relearn, we don't unlearn. It means question what I already know in the light of new evidence and make conclusions to improve my performance, let's say, as a parent, for instance. Assertiveness, communication. This is one of the most difficult skills that you can find nowadays. How people, and actually I have a master here. Georg is a master in negotiation. How do you help people, or you sit with other people who think differently and help them find an agreement? This is tremendously difficult, right? Without raising your voice, without imposing. You need some empathy to do that, right? You need to understand that you are a mediator in that situation. Creativity. We can speak also about the decrease in creativity later on. Team spirit. How do we organize a team that actually works? How do we make people in our community feel valued, valuable, that you can do it? I can tell you how many students I got when I was teaching English in Tallinna University. It was English. It's everywhere. But I got students who were coming to me completely broken, telling, ma ei oska, ma ei saa. Ma olen loll, ma tean. Ma pean siin istuma. Come on, man, it's English, it's everywhere. Just watch movies with subtitles in English. You can do it. She was my student. She didn't have that problem, though. She had the confidence, the self-confidence. Yeah, I found it. Now, democratic education. Before I jump into explaining to you the concepts, I would like to point out that actually this is no new approach. It has been already going on for 100 years. Originally, the first wave of democratic education happened in the 1920s, right after World War I. There was a moment of desperation. Europe had just killed 30 million young people. And some people around Europe in Spain, Ferrer Gardia, and there was A.S. Neil, and here there was Freinet, and here Montessori here, Waldorf. These people got together. Here's a beautiful example in Poland, Korczak, the director of an orphanage who decided to make the orphanage a democratic place so children had roles in the school, they were deciding the rules, they were solving the conflicts. In Estonia, you guys had somebody there. Johannes Kais was speaking about the power of self-learning. How if you have the tools, you can learn yourself whatever you want. Please go on. And be welcome. This is the first wave. These people challenged the status quo. They started building their own private experiences. Two of them, Montessori and Waldorf, kind of stayed, right, as alternatives, but they also had to accommodate a bit to the conditions that states were given. But these people started writing papers and they started documenting their experiences. These experiences, these documents, reached the countercultural movement in the end of the 60s. But now you don't have it only in Europe. You start seeing that it spread everywhere. So you have, besides the schools here, like sand schools, or here in Switzerland, in Denmark, for instance, how they started changing, in Finland, how they started changing, considering education a good that needed to be invested in. Then you see schools in India, you see schools in Japan, you see, here is missing, no, here. You see Tamariki School in New Zealand, where children from Maori background and white European background studied together. You see a school here in Ecuador called the Sleeping Lion. Well, before it was the Pestalozzi Institute. And then you have in the US also a very strong movement. Around 400 schools were founded in 10 years. Not all of them survived, but some did and still work nowadays. Among those, Sudbury Valley School and the Democratic School of Albany, or the Democratic School of Brooklyn. These schools were also really important because they were not just places where children learned. These were places where community was being built, you know, the social tissue of the community. So they would organize, for instance, in Ecuador, they would organize, when the founders of the school noticed that some people had problems paying the fee, the monthly fee, they would organize an alternative currency for the school. So people would be able to exchange services. So I will give you a haircut, that would be easy, and you will give me a lesson in Estonian, right? I will sell you, I will give you some potatoes, and you will give me some milk, right? This would be like the idea of exchange. Children also have their own papers that they can exchange as services. And then you have the third wave, which started in the 90s. This is getting massive. There are around 500 schools worldwide. There are strong organizations in Europe, EUDEC, in Asia, ABDEC. In the Americas, they also have, well, in the US, they have AERO, which is the Alternative Education Resource Organization. They organize their conferences. This year in Europe, and the international conference will happen in Ukraine in August. If somebody's interested, we can forward more information. This is a great opportunity to learn what is happening elsewhere. You know, how did you deal with this problem? You know, we have this issue. We would like to help parents with, you know, teenage worries, let's say. How do we do that? It's an exchange of information. Now it's going massive. And I'm happy to say that when I was studying, we had the plan since the very beginning with my family to come back to Estonia. It was in Spain. To come back to Estonia and to bet for Estonian education and try to implement democratic education here. Why here? Because I believe this nation state has exactly the size that you need. You don't need huge countries. You need small, manageable countries where people can get to each other, when they can connect, when they can share information. I feel that Estonia, even if many people see the size of Estonia as a limitation, I feel it's actually a plus. It's something really good that can support the movement towards a more respectful pedagogical approach towards children. We came here. I've been working on this for 8-9 months, trying to motivate people. Some of you were in the meetings, and I'm glad that that I had the chance to meet you. Now we had this team. We are really engaged into providing all our energy, investing all our energy into enriching the educational landscape of Estonia. Now, what the heck is this democratic education? You have here in English, and here you have in Estonian language. First of all, we speak about the child's interest. This is truly important. We believe that children want to learn. Children don't need to be forced to learn. Well, they need to be forced when it is imposed. Now, when we listen to children, they want to understand what is written in here, in there, for instance, what is written here. How my child learned, I'm a father myself, she's 8, how they start making sense of those codes. It's really, really interesting, right? I have met many children who have learned how to read, not because they were taught, but because they wanted to understand this code. What the heck is that? These people are reading papers there, they are making sense of all these things on papers, some science. I want to learn that, right? When we support their interests, learning happens naturally. There will be some suggestions for you, for everyone actually, in regards to supporting a child's learning. One of those books which I tell you could change your perspective is John Holt's How Children Learn. This book is amazing. This guy was for 10 years just looking at children, checking how they were learning. And he wrote a nice book about it. So the first idea is they have interests and we need to support them. Now this term that you see here, which should be in italics, unschooling is something similar to homeschooling, but it's not homeschooling. You know homeschooling, koduõpe? In homeschooling, basically what you have is you have a curriculum, you take your child home, you are in charge of implementing that curriculum, right? So basically you become a teacher in that sense. In unschooling, what happens is that we create the curriculum based on the child's interests. Yeah? I'm sure you all are parents, most of you. You remember moments in which your child would ask you, but why are the clouds floating? It's a good question. It's a legitimate question. If we go back to conventional schooling, you will see cloud formation in the 3rd class during the 6th week. But he wants to know now. So let's go, let's find a book, let's read it together, let's find out. Let's check some interesting YouTube video on that. Let's discuss it. Can we create clouds? That would be an interesting possibility for the school. I would love one of these children to say, I want to create a cloud. Okay, let's try to organize it. Who is a chemistry teacher? There you have one. Let's start doing that. The second characteristic is self-directed learning. We are very diverse. We are not the same, right? We have different interests. It is very interesting that we have two different set of rights. One is human rights, and the other one is children's rights. Kind of, we don't really consider children fully human. Otherwise, we would have the same rights. But one of the rights, which is number 12, is every child has the right to be consulted regarding decisions that affect him or her. Let's just take that simple right and apply it to our schooling system. When children are in charge, can control their learning, then they get really busy. Then they start saying, I want this, I want this, I want to understand this. Our role, and I think I will speak about later on here, is to facilitate resources, is to help them find information. What to do with that information after all? That's a common process, that's a collective process. Self-directed learning understands that we are all different and that we have different interests. It doesn't mean that one person who is not interested in math would never learn math. It doesn't make sense. When I am giving my child €1 every week, €1, you know, like the pocket money, she's already making calculations. I want this. How much is that? It's €8. So how much you have? I have 3. How much do you need extra? There it comes. That is the learning is happening at that moment when it's real life situation, right? We play Monopoly, for instance. That's a beautiful way to learn math. So I give you 500. You have to give me how much? You know, the house is 150. So we need to help the child to make sense of it. But that is the meaningful practice. You need it for something, not because somebody's telling you that you need it out of the blue. Democratic decision making. This is one of the most interesting aspects. How do we make children participate? How we do provide the opportunities, the conditions for children to participate in managing the school, in deciding about what is going on? It's weird, but you find lots of common sense when you ask children, what can we do about this? This directly affects their feeling of worth. My opinion is taken into account. I am a member of a community, right? We have been tricked into believing that democracy means you go and just cast your vote every 4 years. End of the story. No, democracy should mean that everybody is listened to, everybody is participating, everybody is giving feedback. There are different ways how democratic decision making is implemented in democratic schools. Democratic education is an umbrella concept. Many things fit into that under that definition. In some cases, it is majority rule. And if you are part of the minority, you are encouraged, if you disagree with the decision made, you are encouraged to convince the others with your arguments that that is not the proper decision. In the case of Dutch schools, for instance, they have circles. So they are not trying to reach to consensus. They are trying to reach to consent. Consent means, it's okay for me. In Estonia, it would be something like, selle kohta mul ei ole mitte midagi vastu. Right? It is, okay, I understand your reasons. We can move on. But the fact of just involving them into decision making is tremendously effective. Age mixing, the secret weapon. How many of you were born in 1977? Okay, we can speak. The others, cover your ears. It doesn't make sense, guys. It doesn't make sense. If we want, we can go over through who actually created the separation by age. If it was about learning, we would have groups according to their stage of development. But it is not about people, it's about content. That's why we are dividing them by age. What we are missing through age mixing is tremendous. I'm still trying to find a word in Estonian that means scaffolding. Scaffolding. Anybody knows what scaffolding is? Telling. Yeah, it's creating bridges. Smaller children and older children create bridges of knowledge, of learning, right? When the old guy or girl is reading to the smaller child, they are creating bridges. The smaller child is seeing how this person is reading, right? It's basically helping learn in different contexts, older and smaller children. That we are missing. But it's also about care. caring about the more vulnerable. Adult facilitation, I already said it, there is no need for grades. Self-assessment means that we together put together the criteria for evaluation, right? Where do you want to, I want to learn about Egypt. Okay, what do you want, where do you want to reach? Do you want to make an exhibition for the others? Do you want to make a presentation? Do you want to make a video? What are your criteria? Where do you want to reach with your knowledge? We build it together. And free play and exploration. Traditionally, we have had a wall dividing play from work, right? Interesting thing is that it's really hard to find people who enjoy their jobs, who are having fun while working. It shouldn't be like that. Research, which is not extensive, but there are some research studies on graduates of democratic education, democratic schools, actually suggest that these people make their play, what brings them happiness, make that their job, you know, their professions. Through this, there is a lot written how important it is to build, you know, creative thinking, divergent thinking, social skills, how to speak with others, how to get to agreements, you know, create parallel worlds and so on. We believe that free play and exploration should be in there. That's why we are going to create corners, prepare environments for children to explore, to use the materials, right? Games, any sorts of books will be in there. Yeah. So what are the learning possibilities? They are different. You can use at this moment there are 5 in this slide, but there could be several others. There would be learning centers, which are these prepared environments, arts, the science room, there would be a language room, there would be carpentry, for instance. They can use these spaces as they feel. Then there are personal agreements. They say, Charlie, I know that you are interested in history. I would like to learn about the Industrial Revolution. We can organize a workshop and, you know, meet, watch some videos, talk about it, think about what else. How do we want this to be meaningful? How do we want to share it with the community? Where do you want to reach with that? We can organize internships. If somebody is interested in, I don't know, dogs or animals, perhaps we can find a veterinarian around here who would be willing to get a child, over 12 more or less is what is suggested, to go to the place twice a week just to observe, to help with some stuff. That is a possibility. And there is a lot of learning in there. You can study in workshops. These don't have to necessarily be guided by adults, but could be also guided by adults. It could be children, just organizing themselves. Oh, well, let's improve our photographic skills. They can organize a workshop. They can deal with that. They can start finding videos from YouTube, how to experiment with the lights and so on. They can do that. And choosing a lesson from the school curriculum. Wait, we are not forcing children to go to lessons, but there will be a school curriculum. Yes. On the one hand, we have some requirements, state requirements, and we will speak about those later when I show you the a draft of the timetable. But on the other hand, again, we want to have here people who are curious. I'm talking about the adults, of course, children too, who are curious, who are proactive. I know somebody who is really into arts and handicraft. Maybe this person would organize something interesting. And if children want to attend, they will go there. And they will make something nice. It will be a process of negotiation, of discussion, right? It is not me as the adult organizing the objectives, the learning objectives. It's understanding that children need to be responsible for their learning. This is the main difference. In schools, conventional schools, it's adults, teachers who are responsible for children's learning. And then parents come, why is my child not getting a 5? We believe that children, when they have the opportunity, they become responsible for their own learning. They just need to be supported. When I spoke before about free play, there is a lot of freedom, but there are limits, as in the natural world. I cannot go through this wall. There is a limit. There are also limits in schools. The point is, are these limits functional? Do we all agree that there is the need, for instance, to keep sound the materials? We all get to those agreements. June? Yeah, June. Yeah, this is, well, some of the possibilities. Working in workshops, studying in workshops, it doesn't mean that they are led by adults. Personal agreements. It could be also with other children. My child, for instance, she is learning how to play piano. She told me, really, you will make a school. I want to teach those who don't know anything, I want to teach them basic piano skills. Cool, why not? She can do that. Any other child can do that. If we have here a Pokemon lesson, we will have a Pokemon lesson. You know, I introduce into the world of Pokemon. Lessons from the curriculum, as I was mentioning. The learning centers. As you understand, we are creating a different approach in this place. We will need your support in that sense, right? We will ask for contributions in materials, in resources, bringing games, bringing books, bringing materials for experimentation. I love hammocks. I think that hammocks should be everywhere. You know, nothing more enjoyable than just laying down on a hammock and reading a book. That would also be part of the learning process of each one. Yes. Our school. The plan that we have in our heads at the moment. There will be 3 different groups. 7 to 9-year-olds, 1st to 3rd class. 10 to 12, 4th, 6th class, that would be the equivalent. And 13 to 15. Don't worry, there might be the possibility that children age 6 and children age 16 reach to these points. They will have their own, the small assembly. They will be organized in groups with adults. They will have their own space in the mornings, some mornings a week, to speak about their issues, their proposals. Those proposals will be taken to the big assembly, to the school meeting. It doesn't mean that they will be separated from each other. But just for those specific meetings, they will be with their age group. They will have these tutors. They will choose the tutors. They will organize a long-term plan. What is it that you want to learn? What is of interest to you? How can we organize, identify one of the 5 ways for you to get immersed into that learning? We will organize also weekly plans. It is not the adult making these plans. It is the child, but we are supporting them to make them. And we will have a weekly assessment also during that meeting. Okay, last week, how did it go? Look, you had these objectives. Did you manage? What was an obstacle? How can we solve that? And they have the representation in the school meeting, right? The school meeting will happen once a week, and this will deal specifically with deciding the rules of the place, making proposals. There is a group of people who want to learn astronomy. Then we will organize a workshop on astronomy that will be open to all the students. The conflicts will be solved perhaps through a mediation circle. If you decide to join us in this school project, and I really hope so, we will go through a process of getting to learn about what is happening in these kind of schools. Definitely one resource that we will use is we will watch a documentary film called School Circles. It speaks about the Dutch schools and how they apply sociocracy. One of those groups is the mediation circle. How do we help people to come to terms whenever there is a conflict? Come on. Now, the learning arrangements. As we are dealing with interest, not with age, this is what will happen. You will have, you see in the previous one, you have children according to the color, their age group. In the This is the thing, you see, it's bouncing there. In the learning groups, we will have children of different ages, right? So we will have astronomy. We might have an 8-year-old, we might have a 12-year-old. It doesn't matter. We will have English. We will have children with different levels. And perhaps they will help each other. And perhaps we will, instead of teaching English with a grammar book, we will organize a theater play. And they all will have different roles. And they will choose their roles. And maybe they will write down their own scripts. What are they learning through that process? I think quite a lot. So, age mixing. We'll make sure that they are not just with the people of their age. Oh yeah, it's this way. This is, no it is not. Yes, this is just a draft of what the timetable would look like. They will arrive from 8:30 to 9. They will take it easy. The small meetings, according to the 3 age groups, will have one of these days, will have a meeting. They will discuss about the topics that are important to them. They will have the meeting with the tutor. They will organize this weekly plan. They will check in regards to the long-term plan. And then there will be free play and learning exploration. If there are workshops organized, there will be workshops. On Fridays, there will be the school meeting. The whole school is invited. It is not obligatory. The idea is for them to develop this awareness of how important it is, the participation. It is their school, right? We cannot force them to participate. They need to feel that they belong to this. Now, as I mentioned, we are within the Estonian state. There are these requirements. When they are in 3rd class, meaning age 9, in 6th class, 12, and in 9th class, around 15, they will have to take exams. The exams are basically, if I'm not mistaken, math and Estonian, and something else, math and Estonian and English, as much as I understand. I think it is like this. What will we do? The idea is to, play straightforward with the children. We have this kind of school in which you guys, let's say that you are the children. You guys can choose what you want to learn and how you want to learn it. Yes, but we are within, a municipal school. There are these requirements. What we are going to do is socialize exactly what is it that you guys need to learn for the exam. We can have workshops, structured workshops to prepare for the exam, or we can help you organize your own learning at your own pace regarding those topics. This is appealing to their responsibility. We are not forcing them, we are appealing to them understanding that this is a requirement. And without that, the school cannot move on. That would be challenging, it's not easy. I don't think it's impossible. One of the issues is that we think that they are incompetent, and they are not. When they understand the implications, they will fully get involved. So we will have this exam preparation time which can have different shapes. There are several cases in which children who have never, for instance, 7, 8-year-olds never worried about math or whatever. When they start learning it, they would cover 3 years in 3 months. There are examples of this. It has happened. It is no joke. This will not be just a lecture. The idea is to make it dynamic, to find a way how it suits the different learning styles of the children. But this definitely is something that we have to deal with. 8th graders have to deal with this law of two. We will also support them. We will get the criteria. We will discuss and analyze the criteria all together. And we will start working together to reach those goals. Then there is lunch. And then we go back to the free play and learning exploration. We don't want to have cleaning stuff, as you see here. We want this to become our space. We want to clean all together. I was asking in the school where I'm working, I was asking, they are forced to clean the canteen when they finish, and they're really annoyed by that. But I was asking one of these, no, two of them, I was asking, okay, but if there wasn't the list that you have to do it this day, would you sign in to do it once a week? Yeah. Both at the same time? Yeah, I would sign in. Is it voluntary? Is it forced? Is it artificial authority, or it is natural authority? Right? It is everything about commitments. We are appealing to that. We are betting for that. So we can go back to that. What is required? And this is speaking to parents. On the one hand, we need to trust the child. To trust means to abandon any academic expectations. It doesn't mean that they will not learn. It means perhaps that they will learn more than what you are expecting, or they will learn differently, or they will learn, it will take longer, or it will be really short. But let's just trust that these children are able to control their own learning. That is one of the requirements. Another one is to support their interests. If we don't have the money to buy an astronomy book, well, we will visit the library. We will try to obviously provide the materials here, the resources. But it is to support this interest. Yeah. Sometimes it has to do with money, but not necessarily. It has to do with time as well. Let's do it together. Let's sit together. You want to learn about this? Let's sit together and try to find out. Let's understand the school's philosophy. We are not going to start forcing them to go to the lesson. Even in the case of those exam preparation times, we are not forcing them to get into the lesson. They will understand the requirements, and they need to responsibilize themselves for that. We will help them. If there is no sign of assuming responsibility, then we will sit with the parents. We will listen. You know that this is a requirement, but you are not attending. Do you think that we can help you somehow, so you will prepare these topics for that exam, which is a requirement again? We need to get there. We are not giving grades. This is something, we need to be on the same page. And this is very much related to this. We will organize meetings. We will organize workshops. For 200 years, we were Homo sapiens. We are still. 10,000 years ago, we had the agricultural revolution. Then families became smaller. Perhaps you had the extended family, you were working on the field. Nowadays, in our contemporary societies, the family is the nuclear family. We are lacking also these connections with others. Speaking about the issues, right? Perhaps we have the same challenges at home. How can we address them together? We need to start talking about, how do I deal with my teenage child? We will talk about this. This is part of the process. There will be readings, there will be some conferences, there will be some documentaries that we will discuss together. The idea is to start appealing to collective wisdom. It's hard, but it's necessary. We need to help children with that as well. We are carrying lots of loads there. We are carrying also our experience, our baggage. Sometimes it is there, hidden. We don't need to disclose it. We just need to be aware of that and start working together on how to help our child deal with the challenges that they will be facing. This is what is required. And I want to point out this picture. This is from the place where I did my research. One child got to the school and said, I want to build a geodesic dome. The school were like, what? The founders were like, what? Yeah, I saw it somewhere and I would like to build it. Okay. The school asked the parents, does anyone have any knowledge of architecture? We need an architect to help us build this because da da da. Then somebody close to the school said, I am an architect, I can help. this person came. When the person came, other children joined the project. It took 2 years, and they built this thing. It's beautiful inside. But the amount of learning, there was not only geometry, there was carpentry, there was project planning, the execution of it, buying the materials, but also at some point somebody made a mistake and all the poles were cut wrong. So they had to make it again. And there was conflict, and there was social wisdom, social intelligence, how to deal with conflict. When I was there doing my research, this was already made. But I had the chance to speak with some of these guys who are now adults. And I was asking them, tell me more about this project of the geodesic dome. You cannot imagine, their eyes were just shining. Oh, that was amazing, because we thought that we wouldn't make it. In the end, I was hating the freaking dome, but actually I sit there sometimes and it's so beautiful. This is meaningful learning. We want to support this. We don't want children to repeat blah, 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 blah. You know, I call it academic bulimia. Open the mouth. Now you will puke it when I tell you during the exam. Don't puke it earlier, during the exam. This is real learning. Interestingly enough, all the graduates that I interviewed were very satisfied with their lives. They had made their passions their jobs. They were happy people. This is perhaps an expectation that you can have. What do you want your child to be? Happy, fulfilled, a good citizen, active in society. Now, we have questions and answers from my side. It will not be all, but we can continue talking about it. Thank you very much for your attention. Yes, sir. I'm sorry for taking so long. Yeah, shall we get some questions right now? Yes, please. There is the...
ma küsin eesti keeles.
Palun.
Kui palju antakse hindeid ja kui palju on kodust tööd, nagu koduseid ülesandeid?
Ei ja ei. Now, if the child wants to get a grade, it is the child's task to create the table, saying 1 is I didn't do anything, 2 is I did this but not this, 5 is I made a video, I shared it on YouTube, I had 100 views, right? Kodutöö is, what is kodutöö? My child goes home and the first thing she does, well, she washes her hands because I'm really annoyed with her, wash your hands. But the first thing she does is to sit in front of the piano. Is this homework? Well, yes, you know, in the piano lesson, they said practice at home, but she does it because she feels into it. If your child sits and asks for multiplications and additions and subtraction, why not?
My question is actually about the homework that 9 o'clock in the evening is not done.
No.
I have to start,
No.
forcing.
No, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make, because I mean, guys, we have all been there. We all remember terrible homeworks, and we all remember studying for exams. And we remember how we forgot what we had learned 1 week later, even 2 hours later. That is not meaningful learning. That is just a bureaucratic requirement that, no, it doesn't go. It doesn't happen. Who had? Palun.
Nii, oota, kas see räägib või? Ei, mina räägin. Kuule, kas lapsed võivad käia ise ka väljas ilma nagu juhendaja või õpetajata?
Siin.
Ei, ma linnas, kooli ajal.
Well, they do.
Aga mõtlen kooli ajal?
No. The idea is to have there a sign, a paper with the names of each one of the children, the dates, and perhaps we will have this like post-it or something like that, like I'm in, I'm out, didn't come. The idea is that from 9 a.m. until 3 p.m. we will be around here. If the child decides to go, needs to make sure that, you know, is responsible enough. Now, when we are outside and the children are outside, there will be always somebody, not controlling that they are not burning the place to the ground, but rather controlling that, you know, everybody is safe, right? this beautiful forest that we have here. We want to use it. There will be somebody going with them if they want to go there to find for plants or just to play there. Yes. Yes, I mean, children go to, this is in my country, would never happen. You guys are blessed to have this kind of country where children age 7 can go to the school by tram, taking the bus. It's just amazingly insane. My child just gained so much autonomy. She felt like, I am big, you know? And she goes to the shop and I'm like, I have my money, and she opens. This is beautiful. But of course, when it's the time schedule, we need to know where the child is, because parents are expecting us to be responsible for that, definitely. Yeah.
Aga raamatukokku ta võib minna? Raamatukokku.
Let's organize exhibitions, expeditions to the library, definitely. Why not? Cool. The idea is to have a good library, though. Right? And if we can have, for instance, once a week, everybody who wants would join to go to the library, get some books, and bring them here. Let's do it. We don't want to impose this, but I feel that it will happen. Yeah.
Veel küsimus.
Palun.
Et kui siis laps ei taha 3. klassi seda kontrolltöö asju üldse õppida?
You mean for the exams? Yeah. Then we have to sit. We have to sit with the child. We have to share why it is important for us as a school. If we get all the green light to start with our project, one requirement will be exactly that they are able to not only take the exam, but to demonstrate a certain knowledge that people in the Ministry of Education in Tartu Ülikool or Tallinna Ülikool consider is necessary for these children. The experience of democratic schools is really interesting in the sense that children age 10, who for instance don't read at all, perhaps the families are worried about it, the extended family is even more worried, you just ruined your child, what did you do that, you didn't put him into a normal school and so on. And these children, from one day to another, just develop the interest and they become serious readers, right? But we understand that it's a requirement, so we will try to help the child to deal with this, but also that the child understands that this is something that makes this school, this different kind of school, work. It just works based on commitments.
Aitäh, ma tahtsin seda lihtsalt kommenteerida, kuna olen matemaatikaõpetaja, siis 3. ja 6. klassi tasemetööd ei ole tegelikult, nende eest ei tohigi kool hinnet panna ja need ei määra, et kas sa saad järgmisesse klassi või ei, et tegelikult üle Eesti umbes peaaegu pooled lapsed sisuliselt kukuvad läbi 6. klassi tasemetöös. Aga jällegi seda ei seata küsimärgi alla, et 9. klass on see, kui on riigieksam ja kui on vaja mingi tulemus saavutada selleks, et saada põhikooli diplom.
Thank you. Any other question?
Sa ütlesid, et kui me saame rohelise tule, kas veel ei ole rohelist tuld?
We are in the process. There are good signs, but of course we as a team need to present the documents and all the requirements that are explaining exactly what we are going to do here. Yeah, this is a process. Yeah, we hope to get it because it makes sense. There should be options, right? Maybe Marilis would elaborate on that.
Yes. Ma siis ütlen seda, et meil on ministeeriumiga kohtumine ees 21. mail, kus me siis räägimegi läbi nendega need valdkonnad, kus me arvatavasti riiklikust õppekavast erineme. Ja lepimegi sellega kokku, et me siis erinemegi. Mul on küll soovitatud ka teha eraldi määrus ikkagist, et demokraatliku kooli loomine, aga me ei hakka uusi seadusi praegu looma, et kindlasti see on nagu tuleviku mõte, sest me peamegi seadusi muutma, et sellist kooli teha, sest seadused ju ei luba seda kõike teha praegu. Aga ma olen ka selleks valmis, et siis esialgu me lihtsalt lepime kokku nendega, mis osas me seaduses hälbime ja nad nõustuvad sellega loodetavasti ja siis me pärast siis hakkame vaatama, kuidas edasi seda seadust muuta. Ja tundub, et nad on väga huvitatud, sest väga kiiresti läksid kokkuleppimise ajad nii siis ministeeriumiga kui Tallinna linnapeaga ja kui ka siis Tallinna haridusametiga. Ja Tallinna haridusamet on nagu väga huvitatud, et just selles mõttes, et kuna ma rääkisin enne, et meil on juba kogemus olemas ja nad usaldavad ja teavad, et me saame sellega hakkama koolina ja meeskonnana. Ja kuna nüüd on uued inimesed juures, kes ka sellesse nagu väga usuvad, et siis ma arvan, et see, nad on veendud, et me saame sellega hakkama, aga me peame ise nagu ka neile midagi näitama ja noh, selles mõttes see tasemetööde variant ongi võib-olla meie lubadus siis neile, et me saame näidata neile, et 3., 6. ja 9. lõpus siis me vastame, et need õpitulemused on saavutatud. Et see pigem ongi siis nagu meiepoolne lubadus riigile või Tallinna linnale. Aga jah, et kohtumised toimuvad ja ma arvan, et sealt ei saagi mingit rohelist tuld mitte tulla, sest koolil on koolitusluba olemas. Et mina koolijuhina ütlen, et meil on nüüd demokraatliku osakond, juriidiliselt tegelen seal ise, hoian peast kinni, tõmban juuksed välja, mida iganes, kuidas ma selle kõik registreerin ära ja kuidas see kool saab nagu toimuma, aga tegelikult see kool on siin majas, nad on kõik siin segamini, õpivad koos, et selles mõttes seda takistust ei ole. Lihtsalt nüüd ongi see, et kui lapsevanem saadab kirja, et oi, seal ei ole tunde, aga seal paragrahv see on kirjas, peavad tunnid olema, tunniplaan peab olema, et siis, et selliseid kaklusi nagu vähendada või võitlusi, siis me lepikski enne ministeeriumiga kokku. Et selles mõttes, ütleme siis 80-20, jah, et kuskil seal oleme, et ikkagist mõte on luua praegu, rohkem kui mitte luua. Jah, on antud kirjas, kui palju tunde peab olema matemaatikat esimeses klassis, teises, kõik tundide arv on määratud ja riiklik järelevalve on kõikidel koolidel, munitsipaalkoolidel siis teinud ettekirjutusi, kui on üldõpetus. Kui on kirjas esimese klassi tunniplaanis, et esimesest 4. tunnina üldõpetus, siis seal ei ole tunde, siis see on ettekirjutus.
There are quite a lot. On the one hand, in Waldorf, you have a teacher who is with the children for many years. The teacher is not chosen by children. The teacher is in charge of organizing the activities. There is restricted participation. I mean, I respect Waldorf. I feel that they are a solid alternative. Our approach goes a bit beyond, thinking that children are actually competent to participate in the life of the school. But Waldorf has developed a system that doesn't necessarily work for every child. I have met many children from Waldorf backgrounds, and they feel, that they had an alternative that many others don't have. It is part of the same umbrella, let's say, of democratic education, but we are not following Waldorf. For instance, the idea of explaining children through tales, the world. You have a question, we will find out the information about what explains that question. I'm not going to tell you a story about why the sun is in pajamas, and this is not the point. I respect very much, and I have good friends who deal with Waldorf. But it is. I still feel that adult directivity is too strong. The adult person is leading the child. We want the child to find his own way or her own way, right? We want the child to identify their potential and to start working on that. Exactly the thing about learning to learn, it is that they understand who they are, what makes them special, what is their potential, how they can get there. And this was something else that really astonished me when I've been speaking about. I've been speaking with graduates of democratic schools around Europe. Many of them tell, I can. Tell me what it is, I will get there. If I get to a job and I'm told, well, you need to organize this, and that, I know that even if I don't have the knowledge, I will find the tools to get there. Questions?
Can the child pass faster, or is it always like I need to stay there 9 years? Can I do it in 5 years?
Yeah.
Can I do it in 12 years?
It depends on the child, of course. Yeah. We are willing to support it if the child would like to get, let's say the child is 12, and the child wants to learn physics that would be otherwise for 17-year-old. Why not? We will try to get the resources for this child to develop the learning, but they will be directing the learning, right? If the child perhaps is not so interested in some branches of knowledge, it might be worrying for some people, but we all are like this, we have some interest in some areas of knowledge and not in others, it doesn't mean that we are incomplete human beings. Yes, definitely we will support the child to assume this responsibility for their own learning. I will have my child here if everything goes well. I mean, I really bet for this.
I have some practical questions.
Yes,
what about admission? Do you have a process already set? Do you have a date?
We have some drafts, but the idea is to be inclusive. I mean, we are not starting to check grades that come from, no. The most important thing is that the family and the school are on the same page, that we share the same values, that we can support the child in their learning. This is the basics, is that, right? But no, we are inclusive in that sense.
What I meant, if we're interested in a school starts in September and we want to be in, then when can we be sure that, how does it work?
Yes, at this moment we have put together a form which is for interested people. It is available in the group, in the event as well. I think it is also the link. So you fill this form, and then we have your data, and we will start sending information about what are the practical steps to start with this process. Yes, the child would be registered as in Kunstigymnasium. Yeah.
Okay.
So and when, for instance, your child, let's say that you guys are going to be here for 5 years, and then you're going to move back to Lithuania or to Spain, and you need some certificate or some paper. We are providing a report that will actually mostly be built, organized by the child, explaining this is what we have learned, participating in this project, develop these interests, participating in an internship, whatever it is. So that it is easier to have this transition to another place.
Okay. My aware is because we're looking for a school, and because the school we're in, we want to change it, and just we want to know if we're in this project, when we can have confirmation that we are in this.
As soon as we have the conversations with the authorities and we have green light, then we start. I mean, I will not have a summer. I will be fully dedicated to, renovating this place with the team, organizing the resources, getting the stuff. Yes, it will be, I hope, around June. Yeah, sometime in June, yes.
No, just good to know. And what about the fees? Do you have an idea?
This is a public school. There are no
Oh,
fees.
okay.
This is a public school. If families want to contribute to the school in some way, I feel it should be better through resources. Again, books, games, sports materials, this kind of stuff, right? This kingitus card, the present card or whatever thing it is, but that we can reinvest it here, right? We want to make this space rich, inspiring, for them to be willing to come and, I haven't seen that. I haven't played that game. I haven't read that book. We want this to happen. Art materials, they're pretty expensive. So that could be another contribution. But no, this is a public school. We are not asking for fees. We cannot ask. I want to underline, we cannot ask. Even if we want it, which we don't want. Okay.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Yes, sir.
Tere, mitu õpetajat hakkab olema? How many teachers?
It depends on the number of children, but the idea is to have a ratio of around 8 children per one adult, 8 to 10, yes. In the workshops, well, it will not be so crowded. But yes, we need to, ideally, there would be some permanent staff who would also be in charge of some workshops, but they would be in the space. They would be, helping children use some certain materials, especially if there is a conflict, providing the basis so that we can find a solution. safety is very important as well. But the idea is just to be in the place. Now, when there are workshops, there will be either people from the staff, which is the ideal, but also people perhaps from the other school, from the Kunstigymnasium, and perhaps people from other backgrounds as well who come, if we have astronomy, well, maybe we can learn astronomy on our own, right? There is Khan Academy, there is EduX, we can do that. There is YouTube. But if it is more punctual, then perhaps we bring somebody else. We also would like to count on parents' support, in the sense that there is somebody who wants to learn. I heard Monica is around there. Somebody who wants to learn how to invest in the stock market. Perhaps if there is a parent who knows about this, would come here and give a short lesson on how that works, right? We want to use community wisdom also to be able to connect. It's also families getting closer to the educational process of their children. So we want to promote this as well. Any other question? Comment? Suggestion?
I will ask more. Can you tell some difference between Democratic school and Montessori school?
Yeah, well, Montessori is a method. On the one hand, you get trainings. It's very costly to graduate as a Montessori teacher. On the one hand, so it has also become sort of a business. You are sitting in small tables at the moment. That is one of the very positive things that Montessori developed, is to make society at the level of small people, right? Montessori brought one aspect of value to democratic education, which is, for instance, the importance of, what is the name in English? When you see a child is doing something, kind of like the world doesn't exist to him or her, they are in this state of deep concentration. This is tremendously important. We consider that in that case we are not disturbing the child. It is not that, now we need to go all out. No, it's your
and you're following the same
yes,
meaning.
Definitely. This is respect for the movement. Okay. Montessori was also working with somebody from Hungary called Emi Pikler. Well, they have very similar approaches. This has to do with the freedom of movement and how the child becomes aware of their body, but also their mind, right? We consider that children need to be involved in their activity without interference. Of course, if there is an issue with safety, if there is an issue with misusing material, then we would kindly, there is a difference in between saying, kuuled või? Or going there and say, look, you're using it this way, perhaps, it isn't. We will approach it this way. There is one thing which it's also very, sometimes it's scary for parents. When we spoke about free play, there is also risky play. Risky play is when the child is climbing a tree, for instance. In some schools that is not allowed. Safety first. Yeah, but we are actually depriving the child from this experience of understanding their own limits, right? We will be in there to provide support, but we are in no way interfering with the child's activity. Of course, if the child is playing with a knife, this is not risky play. This is just, yes, I mean, Montessori has also shares with Waldorf the same approach that the adult is controlling, is bringing the children through a certain path, right? It comes with a plan, and we are getting there together, come with me, and maybe very softly. But again, how is the child developing this awareness of what are my interests? How do I develop these learning skills? Do I learn better kinetically through movement? Do I learn better when I see something visual, or when I listen to something, right? There are children who perhaps are learning better when they are playing with a ball, or when they are moving, they are jumping. I see it in my child who is doing acrobatics while she's drawing, and then she goes, and then she draws and comes back, and she's in that moment like really in her mood. We plan to provide the space for children to get into those moments of deep concentration, which are tremendously important. We are interrupting children a lot, and then we are complaining that they have attention deficit. We need to also hands off from their activity, right? Safety, support, but hands off. It's them who have to develop how they are learning, not us. More or less I answered.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Any other comment, suggestion, invitation to have dinner? Nothing?
I'd like to comment on that. Sorry, for this question that came about admission and requirements. I wanted to add, from my experience, I worked for 3 months in a democratic school in Berlin, and they occasionally did send students away for the reason of failure to respect rules. So that's rules are tremendously important as far as they concern how we relate to other people. So students that make other students uncomfortable or take risks that maybe threaten the existence of the school, and after being told that that's not acceptable, continue doing that, then they had to be let go.
The idea in those cases would be to support the child and the family to reach the reasons for that lack of peace of mind, could be. In most of the cases, we know we have this issue with bullying, kiusaamine, and we are always seeing the bullying as something horizontal in between pairs. But in many cases, it's a power relationship that has to do also with adults. Many children come with many loads. How we get through a justice perspective that is not based on punishment, but rather on restoration, restorative justice. How we all can get to certain conditions in which we are relaxed, in which we are enjoying. I was asking this question to 2 people in Spain from different schools, and they both gave me the same answer. And it was surprising. I told them, okay, but somebody is just breaking the rules, bothering the others, disrespecting. What do you do? They both told me the same. We go to the guy or the girl and tell, we want you here. We love you and we want you here. But for you to be here, everybody needs to be relaxed. Also you and us. They told me they have done this, I don't know how many times, but several times. And it has always worked. Like the child understands that he is not a problem, that he is actually welcome to stay, but also to consider that he is one or she is one in a community. And that they have, the thing with limits, with freedom, there are also limits. They are not incompetent. Children and young people, they are not incompetent. They're very competent if we treat them as such. So eventually, yes, there are some cases like this, but these have to do with situations in which it's impossible to reach to the family, or there are issues that cannot be organized together. That would be another situation. We hope it will not happen, but yeah.
Maybe let's get Mari-Liis to...
Nii, kuna me oleme siis oma ajaga 5 minutit üle läinud ja me ei soovi kellegi aega nii-öelda asjata kulutada, siis nagu ma juba ütlesin, siis me oleme siis kohtumas nii ministeeriumiga, Tallinna linnaga kui ka Tallinna haridusametiga, et leppida kokku siis meie nii-öelda koostöö, kuidas me edasi hakkame koos minema. Kas on selles osas mingid küsimusi? Plaan on kool rajada siia samma hoonesse, Hamburi tänavale. Kui meil on vähem kui 50 õpilast, siis on see keeruline. Ehk siis me soovime saada kindlasti kuni 80 esimesel aastal õpilasi, et saaks teha neid nii-öelda väikseid nii-öelda gruppide segunemise ja asju. Sest muidu, kui laps on üksinda grupis, siis ei ole see päris see. Ehk siis on vaja sellist kriitilist massi ka õpilasi kokku saada. Järgmisel nädalal teen siis koosoleku sarnase oma koolivanematele, et kes siis sealtpoolt on huvitatud, sest nagu te nägite, mis mina rääkisin, et me juba arvestame oma huvidega, mis on ka demokraatliku kooli osa, siis samamoodi me laseme õpilastel valida, et see valmisolek nagu meie vanemate hulgas on ka olemas. Nii et ma usun, et sealt on kindlasti mingi osa tulemas ja siis uued vanemad on ka oodatud. Ja nagu Charlie ütles, siis põhi teema, mis meil sellel vastuvõtul ongi siis vestlus lapsevanematega. Ja ma arvan, et see võib ka olla siis ainuke põhjus, miks me siis teed lähevad lahku, et me ei saa sellest ühtemoodi aru. Ja kui me sellest ühtemoodi aru ei saa, siis on selge, et meil on edasi koos väga keeruline tööd teha. Nii et meie suvi on sisustatud. Ikka võtame, need on kõige toredamad. 3. kooliaste on kõige toredamad. Ja. Sest sealne muutus on kõige selgemalt näha. No muidugi, sest kui ta ennem on pätt ja kaabakas, siis pärast ta lõpetab 9. No pärast põhikooli me praegu ei võta gümnaasiumi, jah, et me esimesel aastal või siin teistel on jah, suuremad plaanid, praegu ma üritan olla natuke tagasihoidlikum. Jah.
Kuule, aga kui näiteks sul tuleb mingi suur laps, kes on mujalt tulnud, teatud juba raskused, näiteks nutisõltuvus.
Nii, nutisõltuvus lapsel. Nii, mis võiks siis saada?
No selles mõttes, et tuleb siia, istub kõik see aeg nutitelefonis.
Nii, aga siis on olemas, mina näen sellel demokraatlikul koolil kõige suuremat väärtust sellele, et nagu Charlie ütles, et 8–10 last on ühel sellel koolitöötajal või õpetajal. See tähendab, et üks inimene jälgib su lapse arengut iga päev. Praegu koolis on klassis 28–30 last, üks klassijuhataja. Seal ei toimu mitte midagi, kui ainult probleemsete laste taga ajamine ja siis arenguvestlud 1 aasta, et siis, mis ma selle tubli lapsevanemaga ikka räägin, mul ei ole taga midagi rääkida, kõik on hästi ju. Et siis selle tehakse kiiresti ära ja võtame need keerulisemad nüüd ette jälle. Et tegelikult see on nagu see, mida ma tunnen ka oma laste juures puudust tavakoolis, et mu lapsest ei teata mitte midagi, ta ei teata, kus tal on kõik hästi, kus tal on halvasti, kus teda toetada, et tegelikult see on nagu, ja siis seda nutisõltuvust küll see laps saab lõpuks aru, et kas ta siis mängib seal Fortnite'i ja õpibki seal midagi, koostööd ja mida kõike muud on, aga et siis mingi hetk äkki siis saab mõne teise mängu ka sinna sisse põimida ja võib-olla siis ta näeb, et siin on mingid inimesed, kes ka oskavad Fortnite'i mängida, äkki me saaks mingi klubi teha ja sealt see ju asi ikka parenema, et selleks ongi vaja seda tarka nii-öelda täiskasvanud sinna juurde ja see on nii suur väärtus, kui keegi tunneb su last tegelikult, mitte see ei ole 1/30. Nii.
Seoses nutiseadmetega nagu laiemalt, et ma tean, et osades Eesti koolides on see juba kuidagi reguleeritud, et näiteks, ma ei tea, mis seal Haaberstis on? No, ühesõnaga, et kas mingis astmes on ka nutiseadme kasutus koolipäeva jooksul piiratud?
Do you want to comment?
Yeah. The idea is to have no. Yes, they can use phones in the school. Okay. The idea is that not to have video games. We really consider that this is a space for human interaction, not mediated by video games or technology in that sense. But of course, it's really difficult to control, and we are not going to start playing police. The idea to have phones in the school is also to have them as research tools. We will have computers, but perhaps the child can also use the phone to find information about the things that they would like to. When there are no interesting, inspiring possibilities around, perhaps they will be in there. When they are controlling, the situation changes.
Can I comment on that? One of the ideas is that same rules applied to children and adults, right? So if we told children no phones for 6 hours, we would have to not look at our phones for 6 hours. I think all of us would panic, be like, what if something important came in those 6 hours?
I feel that addiction is also an adult addiction. Parents are complaining about their children being stuck with the phones, but we are also stuck with our phones, and perhaps we just legitimize it by saying it's work, which is not most of the time, but anyway.
Just wanted to tahtsin kiiresti kommenteerida seda, et ma olen natukene vaatanud seda researchi, mis puudutab just nutisõltuvust ja telefonides ja arvutides olemist väga palju. Et see on täna tõsine probleem. Ja mis on selgunud on see, et kui me nii-öelda free play põhimõtted saame rakendada, siis lastel võib juhtuda, et nad ei tule meeldegi üldse telefonisse minna. Et need kaasused on olemas. Et proovime sama taseme saavutada kindlasti.
Just to end. Psychologists have been researching this, some psychologists, and have identified 3 components that video games give to children that their usual lives they are not getting from school. One is competence, the feeling that I can do something, right? In school, when we are following orders, we are not reaching somewhere, right? I passed the level. I managed to do this or that. Second one is autonomy. I am controlling the game. I'm not being controlled. I'm controlling the game, right? This feeling of autonomy is tremendously important. And the third one is the sense of relatedness, is that other people know about Fortnite, so we can speak about it, right? But if it is not Fortnite, but actually the surroundings, the games, the different activities that happen, the approach is that they would develop, it would be part of something, but it will not be the only thing that brings them these 3 feelings that are so important in human development.
Sellega ma siis lõpetaks ülekande. Tšau, tšau, tore, et olite meiega.